Hey y'all, welcome to Life on Tiny Lane. I'm Larry.
And I'm Laura.
Hey, we're going to give you a garden tour today to show you what we've been doing. We're going to just talk about some mistakes we've made, and we'll just go from there. So, all right, this is our oregano that we planted. We got this as from seedlings. We didn't start the seed, but we bought it from one of our local stores here. This is thyme. We actually started this from seeds, and we're getting ready to transplant it in these barrels. These barrels we got from Lowe's. They're like $15, and we've got several of them. We really like them. We got some pepper plants that I've put in pots. I'm gonna try to keep these even after the season, see if they'll keep on going for next year. We've got some tips that these are actually perennials and not annuals. Our lemon balm we started from seeds, but you can see these here didn't cut, but this one's still doing good here, and it's going to come up and hopefully it'll fill it all out. These are strawberries that aren't doing too good, but you can see a couple of them. We got these as bare root plants, so we've only, it looks like about maybe 5% or 10% is working. This is our garden variety lettuce here. This is doing pretty good. We planted this about 3 weeks ago. It's doing good. We're going to start another one just like this in a couple of weeks, and as that's growing up, we'll start harvesting off this, and then in a couple more weeks after that, we'll have another one to harvest. So this lone strawberry plant has made it. It's looking actually pretty good. So it's got a few strawberries there. Over here, parsley that we started from seed is doing good. We put them in these barrels. Oh, there's some weeds. We bought this oregano. We bought this lavender here in pots, and so we've repotted them and put them in these bigger, nice pots. We're going to get a fourth one, and then that's going to go in our cottage garden. This is some oregano that we grew last year, and it was in a little pot about this big, and I put it in here probably about 2 months ago, and it's just taken off. And the same with all the mint. This is mojito here. This is peppermint, and this is pineapple mint. And if you can look close, the really cool thing is these leaves will start, the edges will start turning white, and they'll get completely white around the edges. It's really pretty. So you can see a couple of them down here. So, yep, and it's a softer leaf. It's a kind of a fuzzy leaf as compared to a regular mint. So this is our okra. It's coming up good. We started this a couple of weeks ago, and it's already up. I don't remember what's in this row.
Nasturtiums.
Nasturtiums, something like that. These are our pepper plants here. They're doing good. These just got planted last week, or just transplanted. We started these all from seeds. These have been in here for a few weeks, so they're starting to get some blooms on them right here. So we'll have some fruit soon. We've got banana peppers, jalapenos, purple bell peppers, Tabasco peppers, and I bought a few habaneros yesterday, which are I don't think I've planted those yet except in pots over there. These are yellow bell pepper. These are yellow pear tomatoes. You can see we've got a couple of them right here already forming from the flowers. Got a couple there. There's a couple more down here. We started these from seeds, and these got put in the ground about 2 weeks ago, and they've already grown up. And they were this size over here 2 weeks ago, so that's how much they've grown in a couple of weeks. So we just got these in this past week. So these are our beefsteaks, and these are brandywines, and these are San Marzanos. So we'll look at some more San Marzanos here in a second that are looking really good, and we've put those in about 4 or 5 weeks ago. These are butter beans that are coming in pretty good in the middle here. And then these are marigolds on the sides. We actually got some flowers getting ready to start on the marigolds. These are great pollinators. and these are good companion plants for beans. Now, if you look, I'll point out this. We started off the season with this weed barrier here, and you can see how good it is, or lack of good it is really. Grass is all growing up underneath it, and it's horrible. So you'll notice if you step back, we came back and bought this, and we put this down everywhere, and it's a lot better. So there's no weed pressure at all. So don't skimp on your weed barrier. Get the best you can get that you can afford. And one thing we did, I tilled up this whole garden before we started, and then we put the weed barrier down. And then when we went on vacation for 2 weeks and we were not able to attend to it, weeds were everywhere. And if you look over here, you can see how bad it is. We got to still clean this up. All right, and then over here we have our, we got butter beans, and we got bush beans. That's these kind of 1, 3, and 5 rows. And then here we have the calendulas, cosmos. So the flowers in between them. They're good companion plants as well. You can see our butter beans here. We didn't get really good germination on them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of all those holes. Same with these calendulas. They didn't really germinate either. The bush beans, they not too bad. Looks like about a 75% germination on them. And then the cosmos are all coming up. Most of them are coming up, but yeah, they're looking decent. And those just got planted a few weeks ago, so they're pretty early still. All right, these are our sunflowers and corn. So our corn is, you can see it's getting ready to tassel. It's tasseling here. So we've got some ears starting to form right here. So it's getting close for these. They look good. And then these sunflowers are looking great. They're getting ready to bust open with some big, nice flowers. And this variety has like several flowers that's going to open up on them. I don't remember what all the variety is, but it's we're planting, I think, 3 or 4 different kinds. But they're huge. All right, so here, this is our tomatoes. Over here, that's Aroma, and it's doing pretty good. It's got a few fruit on there. This is San Marzano, and you can see how much fruit it has. Probably got 10 of them on there. There's several on there. Looks like we've got some flowers. I don't even see that many flowers or anything. That one's not doing much. That one's not doing much either. Some of these are doing really good. We've got several there, several here, several on this one. So they're doing okay. And if you look at this string trellis method here, which is what I'm using, I just put a cable. I got T-post in, and I put a cable across it, and then I just hung these, and they're just clipped right here. You can just see they're just clipped, and that holds them up nice and straight. So it keeps them off the ground. These are great whites I just planted this week, or transplanted. So they look sorry right now, but I think they'll bounce back. And then over here is the Black Prince, and we'll see how they do. They're looking sorry too. But when we transplanted all these other ones, that's kind of how they looked, and once we got them in the ground, they started flourishing. This is our squash rows. We've got zucchini squash here. I think these are straight neck. or crooked neck.
Yeah, crookneck.
Crooked neck and straight neck. And then, I don't know what this is.
Baby butternut.
Butternut squash. And then you can see our zinnias are in between our 4 squash plants, and they're doing really good. And we started pretty much everything from seeds. We started these in pots back in early March, the zinnias. And then the squash, we direct sowed out here, and they're doing great. And then our neighbor gave us the 4 of the butternut squash plants. Then our potatoes, you know, you say, oh man, those are looking sorry, but that's kind of normally how they're looking. So they're dying back right now. They've been, we started them in late March, and we put them in these containers. They came up, you know, they were all about, pretty much about this high. They've kind of started dying back now. They've bloomed, and then under here there's hopefully a bunch of potatoes, which we'll dig out in about another 20 days. They'll be ready to pour out and see what we got. But we got 4 pots of potatoes. They're all Yukon Gold. I think we started out with about 2 pounds of seed potatoes. So hopefully we'll get about 30 or 40 pounds. All right, coming this way. Oh, one thing I wanted to show, if you didn't notice, all the irrigation lines on the ground, we went with DripWorks, and it works here. It just has a little 30-pound regulator, and then it has 12-inch emitters, and everything's irrigated automatically. So I have it on this daily timer here, so it waters it first thing in the morning. I don't have to worry about it. Everything gets watered every day, and that's my biggest problem, is consistent watering. So we went with the drip system so it would be consistent, and I didn't have to worry about it. So over here, now these are more strawberries that we planted. We got them bare root. These are doing a lot better than the other ones we planted in the containers. And these are Natchez blackberries. They're thornless, which is nice. We've already harvested quite a few blackberries. Laura's made some blackberry cobbler with it. It's been really good. But we still got even more fruit producing here. So there's more fruit coming in. There's some right here. There's some green berries back there. So, all right, so these are our free tomatoes here. When we went on vacation and all the weeds grew up in the garden, we found 4 tomato plants that were grown. We don't know what they are. We don't know where they came from. I'm assuming it came from our compost pile when we put all of the old tomato plants and scraps, because we just dumped it in the big compost pile we have. But 4 of them grew, and they're actually doing pretty good. So we just planted them over here. This was where our old garden was last year. Our old, I should say, raised beds. We didn't really have a garden, but you see a fruit down there. This one's got a couple of them on there. And I don't know what variety this is. It's a kind of like a mystery grab bag of tomatoes there. And this is our raspberries with no raspberries on it. So we've had these plants about, I would say, at least 3 years, and I've had them in pots until last year. I planted them here late last year, and I thought they had died, and you know, the grass was all overgrown. We cleared it out, put some things, and they've come back, so they're doing really good. They look really healthy, but no fruit. So maybe next year. I'm not gonna give up on them yet. I've had them too long. These are our apple trees. We've got 2 varieties, and 2 of each. This is an Anna, or no, this is a Dorset. And then we have 2 Annas and then another Dorset at the end. So no fruit on these. It may be a little bit early to tell. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about apples. We don't. We're just trying to really keep them healthy, and maybe in 4 years we get a lot of apples. That's what we're shooting for. These are our blueberry bushes. We got 3 of those right here. They look healthy. They're really strong plants. Not a lot of fruit on them, but again, we're not looking for fruit for these first year or 2 on them. But these are 2 years they've been in the ground. This one's got a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed our garden tour. It's June of 2022. Laura's going to pan around and give you a good view of it all. We appreciate everything. We'll do another video in probably about 6 to 8 weeks when we start getting a lot of harvest in. Or maybe before that, we'll do some short ones. But we appreciate you tuning in. Thanks, everybody. God bless.